it's round, but doesn't have two bases. It has two bases, but the two bases are, what is that round shape? The both bases are circles. So it's similar to a prism in the fact that there are two bases, but now the two bases are circles. Now, yesterday we talked about the volume of a prism was the area of the base times the height. Like here, we took the area of the triangle times the height. So the question for you, here our base is a circle. How do we find the area of a circle? Measure it. There's a formula. There might be a pi in there. Pi times radius squared, okay? So if I want to find the area of a circle, it's pi r squared. Well, if we do the same thing we did like with this volume of a prism, we could take the area of the base times the height. Hey, look at what we got here. Pi r squared h, area of the base times the height. That is where that formula is coming from, okay? So I have that formula written right here. This is what we're going to use today. Now, on your blue calculators, do you see a button that says pi? Okay, we don't have a button that says pi. So what we need to do is when we use pi, we need to use its approximation of 3.14. So write that down so you remember that, okay? Anytime we see a pi, we're gonna have to use 3.14 because our calculators don't have it. If you don't already have a calculator, because you could do mental math for the warm-up, you're gonna need a calculator. You're not gonna be able to do mental math today. So I'm giving you like 30 seconds. If you need a calculator, please get it. I mean, that is what those measurements would be. So if you need to add more labels, go for it. But we're only going to need the 10 one time. Right. You're right. Okay. All right. Who sits at desk 8? Did you grab the calculator 11? Okay, cool. All right. So here's the deal. We need to be able to look at a cylinder and decide what's my radius, what's my height. So I want you to turn to your elbow partner and I want you to say, hey, I think this is the radius and this is the height. Ready, set, go. That was a weird sound. All right. Tony, which one is the radius? Okay, Tony says the radius is 10, which means the height is 4. Let's talk about how Tony knew that 10 was the radius. What is something we need to look for to figure out that that's the radius? Sophie. Okay, the dotted line. And what is that dotted line connecting? The dot in the middle. This guy right here, that's the center of the circle. And the radius goes from the center of the circle to the edge. That's how we knew it was the radius. Okay. We knew that 4 was the height because the height is connecting those two circles. Okay. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to write down our formula. Volume equals pi r squared h. Everybody write it down. Okay. Then what we're going to do, we're going to use the fact that, okay, I know that our radius is 10 and our height is 4. So I have pi times 10 squared times 4. Before we put this in our calculator, pi, we said, is the same thing as 3.14. What's 10 squared the same as? 100. Okay, so I want to see, okay, hold on. I want to see the 3.14 times 100 times 4 written down. And Tony is telling me that the answer is 1,256. I'm hearing a yeah. We agree that when we put this in our calculator, we get 1,256. Okay. Reagan, what would the label of that number be? Millimeter cubed. Cool beans. I put cubed. Does that not look like a 3? Should I? Is that a better 3? Okay, here's the deal though. I can't just have the answer of 1,256 millimeters cubed. I need to see at the very least this part right here that you set up the numbers with the formula. I need to know that you know how to get the answer. Okay. All right, I don't want you to do the problem yet. I just want you to write R equals and H equals next to the correct numbers in number 12. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Identify R, identify H. Identify radius, identify height. All right. Austin, which one's the radius? 19 or 7.5? Okay, Austin is saying 7.5 is the radius. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I agree. Notice how it goes from the edge of the circle to the center. So 19, since that's the one connecting the two circles, that's the height. This cylinder is on its side. So I know it feels weird that our height is sideways, but the cylinder is sideways. Okay. All right. I am going to give you a moment for you and your elbow partner to come up with the volume together on this one. Okay. Let's go. I love hearing people talk about if they're getting the same answer.
I'm freaking hate you. I don't know how to get at least 6 because
it wasn't a new test. It was already in there.
So you can change.
Wait.
All right. Volume is pi r squared h.
Wait, what is the R? What's the R?
Radius.
Oh.
Okay, hey, Tony, what was 7.5 squared? Okay, so if we take, if we take 3.14 times 56.25 times 19, and if the dots are confusing you, you could just use parentheses. Maybe that would be better. Okay, when we multiply those three numbers together, Emma, what did you get? I know you got it. What'd you get? 3,352.9.
55.875. Yes, I got. Hold on. Let me redo this. 3,355.875 centimeters.
So if it's 875, let's go ahead and round up 0.9 because we're just gonna do one decimal place, okay? Okay.
Wait, but like on the test for this, you have to round it.
So if you don't round, I'm not gonna make like a huge deal about it, but I'd like you, if I say round to the nearest 10th, I want you to try to do that. Okay. Cash, what would our label be right here? Cubed. Yep, we're doing volumes. We gotta do centimeters cubed. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. All right, now number 13. Cash just asked me, do you have to split 26 in half? How should I answer that? Why? Okay, what do we call that? It's the diameter. So we are going here. So you're right. So this is the diameter. Notice how it goes all the way across the circle. But radius only goes from the center of our circle. So since this goes all the way across, Cash is right. We have to split it in half, which is what? So the radius is 13. And the height, the piece connecting our two circles, is 40. So I really like to write the formula first. That way I can make sure that I'm putting the right things in the formula. Oh, what is 13 squared without your calculator? So we have 3.14 times 169 times 40. It's going to be a big number.
21,206.4.
Yeah. That?
Almost 212,200. Nope. 21,226.2.
Oh, I missed a 2 in there. 21,226.4. Meters cubed, not centimeters. We got to pay attention that it's just meters this time. Okay. Do you know why it's meters and not centimeters? Because it says M. You know what? That's okay. But only this time. All right. Here's the deal. Number 15. It is asking you to find the height of the cylinder. So I am going to give you 2 minutes to work with your elbow partner to see if you can figure this out. My suggestion to you would be to write the formula down first and then figure out what you have and what you need to find. So I'll give you 2 minutes to see if you and your elbow partner can figure something out here. Write down the formula first. Feeling what you have. Write down the formula. Hey, let me go do that. Write down the formula.
Miss Coleman,
Yes.
is this here?
I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal. That is 50.24, but we don't know H, but we do know that the volume over there is 301.
Oh, so you divided.
Don't think it could, because you forgot to square your radius. So this should be 16 because it's R squared.
Wait,
Okay, you are right. We need to divide it by something. Did you write your formula down?
yeah, I don't know how you know to divide that.
Well, did you put this number in somewhere?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Divide by 4.
So if you multiply.
I do have to. Wait, is that it?
Ooh, you forgot that. So you gotta divide by the time. All right. We'll call it 6. Okay, Allie just showed me that she got her height to be 6.0. Could you raise your hand if you got the same thing? Ooh, if you put 6, that's totally cool. Okay, so let's talk about how we got there. We know that the volume is 301.6, right? Okay, so we know that pi is 3.14, and we know that 4 squared is 16. So when I was walking around, a lot of you knew that you needed to take 3.14 times 16, and you got some 50 something number, right? 50.24. Okay. Now, if 50.24 is being multiplied to 8, how do I undo it? We could divide both sides by 50.24. That's how we get our 6. So we're gonna go back to the pages of our homework yesterday, but these are the ones I want you to do this time.
Wait, Miss Coleman, how do you know if it's cubed?
Go back to this page. How do we know what our label is?
Inches.
Why is it not inches cubed? Because it's not the volume. When we talk about the radius, when we talk about the height, we are talking about just that one measurement.
So when it's radius and height,
You don't put the little 3 there. But when it's volume, you got it. Okay. So on pages 6 and 7, we have 3, 6, 9,
that's homework.
13, and 15. You have 5 problems for your homework. If you are one of those people who didn't finish yesterday's assignment,